Welcome back to the big build in Transport Fever. I'm Tech Hench, and in today's episode, I'm going to start probably the biggest build that I've done so far. Or might be the biggest build that I've done so far. What I'm going to actually do is build a new town, but I'm going to build the town on top of a mountain. Someone did suggest actually doing this in the comments, and I think it's actually a really good idea. As part of the build, I actually wanted to put a road into the town. There's going to be kind of a copy of the Stelvio Pass, which is classed as one of the best driving roads in the world. If you ever watch any old Top Gear episodes, and they have been there a couple of times I think. I will post a picture of it on my Facebook and Twitter page if anyone wants to go and have a look at it. Probably is not going to be exactly the same, just because the tools that we've got in Transport Fever probably aren't going to make it amazingly easy to do that, but hopefully it'll look something similar anyway. So this build is probably going to stretch over a few episodes just because it takes quite a long time to actually do all this stuff. The terrain modification takes ages just because the tools aren't great. So if you've not subscribed, make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss any of the episodes that are coming up. So this is actually going to go in towards the north of the map. As you can see, I've already cleared out all the industries that are up there and all the roads and things like that. Just so we've got plenty of room to build pretty much what I want. So this is the bit now that is going to take ages. So what I'm just going to do first is delete all the rocks or remove all the rocks and stuff that are all around. Any trees as well, they will be deleted. So to do that, I'm actually using the tree brush or the delete tree brush. And what that then does is just go and remove all the rocks. It was a really useful tip that someone left. So I found the easiest way to use the terrain tool and get it up to a decent height is to make one big column like that, and then use the I think it's the flatten terrain? I think it's flatten terrain tool, and then kind of build outwards. It's much quicker doing it that way than use the Raid's terrain tool. Otherwise you'd be there all day. Even doing it this way is not exactly quick. It still takes a while. So my idea is that bit that I've raised up there, that's pretty much where the town's going to be. And then what it's going to do is kind of feed down towards, I wish I knew I could remember what the town was called, but it's going to feed down towards the, kind of up on that, as you can see from there. And then it's going to join the road, or the road that I'm going to put in is going to join a road that's just next to one of the train tracks I think that we've got. The actual bit where, I think it's the Stelvio Pass, I'm not sure if the whole road's called that, but the bit where it actually comes down the mountainside and will just be around here as well. So what the road actually does, it kind of loops back on itself several times. I think that's possibly why it's classed as one of the best driving roads. Just because it's got like tight turns and things like that. So if you've not actually seen, the developers are actually going to release a major update for Transport Fever in the summer. Which I'm actually really looking forward to. I hope they actually add quite a few well, they've not actually said what they're going to put in the update yet. I think they said they were actually going to release more information over the next few weeks about what's actually going to be in it. The thing I'm probably looking or hoping for the most is that they put in bigger maps. I would like the map to be 3 or 4 times the size of even the biggest one that you can get now. Just so it makes things like air travel a little bit more relevant in the game. Because I think at the minute, unless you have a huge map, air travel doesn't really make sense. Because they're only really going between cities. Maybe they need to make the map so big that they're almost like countries. I suppose you do internal flights within countries as well, but you probably wouldn't travel the distance that you would on the maps that we've got so far by plane at least. So a few other things I'm hoping for. So the city side, I hope they increase that quite a bit. Maybe have districts for the cities as well. So just having one city. And I think it seems to get to the point where the cities don't actually grow anymore. So they'll get to a certain size and they don't seem to get any bigger. So it would be good if the cities could grow and grow and grow. Maybe you wouldn't need as many cities then either, or towns. So as you can see, I've made it look like a right mess. Like I say, I found this is the best way of doing it. And then, so you kind of make it everything to the height that you want. And then you come along with the smooth brush and then just smooth everything out. It kind of joins it together all quite nicely. But it does take quite, like I say, quite some time to get how you want it. You just need to spam the modify tool. So what I've not decided yet, or I haven't decided whether I should do this or not, is I'm going to have definitely one route down from this town, down the kind of backwards and forwards road that you'll see me build a little bit later on, is whether I should have a road down the back as well. I'm kind of thinking not at the minute, but I might see how that goes. Might you? No, I was thinking I might even go crazy and put an airport up there, but I think that's probably a stupid idea. The only thing I suppose I could do is actually make a smaller mountain at the side, then have some form of train or tram that goes up it. I think actually one of the mods that you can have for this game is a cable car. Maybe I should put the cable car up the side of the mountain. Not quite sure how the cable car works, but it would, I suppose, be quite good to have it go up and down the mountain. Might give that a try, see how it looks, and then you might see it in a future video. If it looks rubbish, then you won't. So as you can see, smooth. Just takes ages. So another game that's actually coming out soon is Farm Manager. So I did actually play the prologue version of it just recently, which I have got a video of if you want to check that out. I'm hoping to get the game when it comes out and maybe start a mini-series on that. Never actually played a Farm Manager before, but it does. The prologue was quite good, and it does look quite an interesting game. Certainly the type of game that I enjoy, so the kind of whole management type game. So I probably will do some episodes on that. So make sure you check them out if you're interested in that type of game. Also, King of Retail have actually released a few updates since I last played it, so I may do a mini-series on that as well. I think they've now got things like laptops in it, and they've definitely got mobile phones that I've seen. So it would maybe be good to make a store with that sells laptops and mobile phones and that kind of stuff. I know one of the store that I created on the first series that I did on King of Retail did like PC peripherals and PCs and all that kind of stuff. So, and what I did is actually put clothes alongside that. So maybe I could just modify that store, get rid of the clothes, and then put laptops and mobile phones in. So get subscribed to see if you want to see that, and it is actually a really good game, King of Retail. Only really small indie developer. I think it's only actually developed by one person, but yeah, certainly good management game. So this is the part here that I'm actually going to extend, and so it's going to have a road that goes along the top of the mountain. The little town is going to go on the bit that I've just built, and there's going to be a road that goes along here. What I'm probably going to do as well, because I think some of it will be like quite a nice scenic view, so maybe just do like a little viewing platform, a bit like I've done for some of the other areas. So the Glenfinnan Pass that has got a little tourist part, so I probably will do the same with this. Maybe just do a little road or lay-by or something like that, so people can just go and have a look at the view. I'll be able to then take some pictures and show what it looks like. So as like I've said, this is where the road's actually going to go. So this next bit was a complete and utter nightmare because one, the camera didn't work properly because it kept wanting to jump up to the high bit when you zoom in, and then when you zoom out you can't see what you're doing. And the road tool didn't want to do what I wanted it to do. So I don't actually want it to be a bridge, I want it to be actual ground, which is, I'm not sure what the top one. It's the top one anyway. When you put in the road in, it's not the bridge, it's the top one, which I'm not actually sure what it's called. But then just slowly slope it down the side of the mountain. But it didn't want to do it properly. As you can see, I'm having quite a bit of problem just doing that first little bit. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's just that maybe the tool's not brilliant. So what I'm going to do is, there's gaps in between, as you can see there. But what I'm going to do is come back and just smooth all that over. I do want steep kind of cliffs up and down this, because I think that's what the actual place in real life looks like. What I'm probably going to do as well is where the actual turns in the roads are, it's just come around and put some crash barriers around there. I think the real life place has actually got brick walls, but the brick walls that we've got in the game so far with the fencing tool aren't the right ones, and they're probably not going to look any good. So I think I'm just going to use crash barriers for mine. So I am slowly but surely making my way down the mountain with this road. What I'm going to do when it actually gets down to the ground is have quite a big lake. I'm not sure if the real place has actually got a big lake at the bottom. It has got, I think, little lakes around it, or like little pools of water and stuff. I'm not sure if it's a large lake, but on mine I'm going to have a largest lake. One thing it would be quite good in games if you could drive the cars, so you could actually drive around this part of this road that I'm creating. I don't know if there is. I know you can obviously do just first person view in one of the buses or something like that, and maybe I'll probably do that. Might do that as a passenger ride type video, just so you can drive around. Just do it as a bit of a one-off video. Don't know if them type of videos people find them that interesting. If you do find them interesting, leave them in the comments below if you like kind of taking the train journeys and things like that. I did do one over the Glenfinnan Pass. I think that whole route, the Glenfinnan Pass, takes like half an hour if you sit on it properly and go from one side to the other and then back again. So as you can see, that's where the little lake is going to go. And I'm going to put a bridge over it, which is going to be quite nice. And then at the minute, the road or the ground over here is quite flat, but I'm actually going to do another mountain over the back of it. So I think this is a good point to end this episode. So thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've enjoyed the video. And so you don't miss the next few episodes, make sure you get subscribed and ring that notification bell. I've actually just done a new mods video as well. If you've not seen that already, it's actually some of the vehicles that I'm using in the big build, and I'll see you next time.